Hello for those among us who are in the United States. Good evening, everyone. Those who are in the Philippines, good morning. So I hope you have seen the thumbnail of this live stream. This is about the latest update about the J1 visa. I hope you can hear me well. So uh, just a while ago, a good friend of mine sent me an update about the J1 visa. And let me just share with you that this update came from the Office of the President there in the Philippines through the Commission on Filipinos Overseas. And we have here an update, a letter from or announcement from the chairperson of the Exchange Visitor Program Committee, Justice Francisco P. Acosta. He is the chairperson of the Exchange Visitor Program Committee. This is the committee who manages uh, and facilitates the the process or part some of the processes uh, uh, in in your application for the J1 visa. So let me just read through the public advisory by Justice Francisco P. Acosta about the J1 visa. And just a reminder, or maybe you have recalled, or maybe you have heard before, that the exchange visitor program is another name for this J1 visa program. Okay, so again, let me just read through the public advisory of Justice Francisco P. Acosta, chairperson of the Exchange Visitor Program Committee. And the public advisory says, the public is hereby advised that the Exchange Visitor Program Committee of the Philippines has declared a moratorium on the participation of Filipino nationals to the Exchange Visitor Program of the United States of America by virtue of Resolution Number 012020. The moratorium is put in place due to the need to review and promulgate policies to safeguard and protect the well being of Filipino nationals before, during, and after participating in the program. The moratorium takes effect immediately after the publication of the resolution and shall remain in place for 1 year or until 6 months after the travel restrictions as provided by the Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases are lifted or accordingly revised, whichever is longer. So during this period, Filipinos will not be allowed to travel to the United States under a J1 visa. The Commission on Filipinos Overseas will not register and issue the registration sticker. The processing of requests for no objection statement shall also be suspended, and existing J1 visa holders are requested to return to the Philippines after the completion of their respected cultural exchange programs to comply with the 2 year residency requirement of the EVP, or the Exchange Visitor Program. And it says here, for the information of the public. And again, this is from from Justice Francisco P. Acosta, chairperson of the Exchange Visitor Program Committee. So let me just um, maybe break this down, the announcement to you. So I think you have heard the word moratorium. So the processing of the J1 visa in the Philippines is put on hold. And this is for the reason of your well-being, safety of Filipino nationals before, during, and after participating in the program. So, and it's also said here, this moratorium will be put in place for a year or 6 months right after the lifting of the travel ban. And it says here, whichever is longer. So, ibig sabihin po, kung, kung hindi na lift yung travel ban, this moratorium will be effective for a year. Okay? But even if the moratorium is lifted, well, let me just clear this out. So it says here, the moratorium takes effect immediately after the publication of this resolution and shall remain in place for a year or until 6 months after the travel restrictions as provided by the Interagency Task Force on Emergent Infectious Diseases are lifted or accordingly revised, whichever is longer. So um, if is I think that was self-responded, but so if the if after the lifting of the travel ban, it will take 6 months before they will start processing the J1 visa application. But if this is earlier than 1 year, I think they would uh, continue the J1 application 1 year after this resolution, so whichever is longer. So I think this will be well, my friends in some parts of the United States who are teachers with the J1 visa are worried. They are worried about those who have already applied for the J1 visa, and we know the experience. It requires money, and maybe many of you have applied for a loan, and this is sad. And if I think it would be helpful. I don't know what is the arrangement that you can really do because of this. So maybe you can write your comment under this video to give others some suggestions how others can deal with this, because I know marami sa atin po ang nangutang just to be just to apply for a J1 visa. Um, and if this is hard, so if I don't know, because of the pandemic, everything, almost everything is on hold, and this is for the safety. I have just one comment though about in one of the paragraphs of this public advisory, and it says here, the processing of requests for the no objection statement shall also be suspended. So this would also have an implication for the current J1 visa holders, because the no objection statement, most of the people who would apply for this are those who have plans of extending their stay here in the United States. That's one. And it's also useful for those who plans to reapply for a J1 visa. So I think you have seen a lot of videos about J1 visa application, and part of the conditions of a J1 visa condition is really, most of the time and usually, uh, right after you have completed your J1 visa program, you will be asked to return to the Philippines, and you will have, or you will be given 2 years, or you are required to stay in the Philippines, in your home country, for 2 years. And within the 2 years, you will not be allowed to apply for a new J1 visa. So one of the most popular ways of getting around it, not really getting around it as if it is cheating, but it's a legal process. One way of uh, that others use in order for them to apply for the J1 visa within that period of 2 years is they would apply for a no objection statement. Okay, so but please don't take my word for this. It has been a long, long time ago since I went back to this subject of no objection statement. So I think it is better to update yourselves, go online, search for facts, ask questions from the official, uh, from the of officials. I know that there will be a lot of friends of yours who would be giving you unsolicited advice, but just make sure that these information or sets of informations are up to date. But again, as I have mentioned in my previous videos, the best source of information is really the official websites of government agencies. Okay, and also, if I may just continue with the paragraph, it says here, existing J1 visa holders are requested to return to the Philippines after the completion of their respective cultural exchange programs to comply with the 2 year residency requirement of the Exchange Visitor Program Committee. So this is for me uh, a point of confusion because I know some friends who have received some notification. I'm not so sure where those notifications come from, but for sure it could either be, well, I forgot where the notification came from. Uh, it's either it came from the U.S. government or the Philippine government, and on that notification, really, for this year, the current J1 visa holders, their stay here in the United States is being extended for another year. I have a friend who is currently teaching in New York. He had received this letter, and on that letter it says that though you have already completed 5 years of your J1 visa program, you are you can you are your stay has been extended for another school year. So I think this is just a point of confusion. So I will try my best to verify this. So since this is the purpose of this platform is a learning platform, we can ask questions. And since this is something new to me, um, I have never experienced this suspension of J1 visa application. Maybe for those who are watching this, you can write your comment below and you can tell us how you feel, and you can also tell us or share to us what are your plans in dealing with this, and maybe if you have any updates or corrections to any of what I said, or any information that you think useful for everyone, please don't hesitate to write them down as comment below. Well, thank you.